Peace and the blessing, family. Welcome to the Luna Nora Show. I don't even know if I can consider this a show because I'm not consistent, but who cares? I do. Everything comes when it's meant to come. But anyways, um, I know you guys have noticed that I've been doing the Healing the Inner Feminine series, and I still am. But I kind of wanted to just say that I want to start touching on the different things that I genuinely like to talk about because I have a lot of passion points. I have a lot of things that interest me, and I have a lot of things that I have educated myself on because I'm naturally curious about many things. And I feel like I'm doing myself and you all, as well as the God who led me to this information, a disservice by not sharing that information, by not talking about it, by not, creating videos. Because I feel like with those long form YouTube video, you're able to get a topic across, or you're able to get a subject laid out much better than you can with like a 1 minute and 30-second video on like Instagram or something. So I'm going to put forth the effort to do that more. I'm into movies and I'm into like the subliminal message that we pick up when we watch movies. I'm into the reproductive system, babies, the neonatal care, early childhood development, psychology, Dianetics, therapy. I'm into a lot of things. And I really want to start talking about that because, again, I have informed myself a lot of information about these different topics and subjects. And again, I feel like somebody somewhere would learn or pick up something from what it is I have to share. Because apparently that's what seems to be happening. I don't really understand it, but Allah is God and He knows what He's doing with His servants. So anyways, I wanted to touch on today in particular. We're still going to be along the lines of healing the inner feminine because I feel like this is very important. But yeah, this is healing the inner feminine. I'm always going to be talking about the women, of course, because I am a woman, so that's innate. But I wanted to talk about why, in particular, the woman must rise above emotions into the thinking of a God, because women are emotional creatures, and every single month we go through a plethora of emotions. And if you are a woman, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't even have to talk about it. I don't even have to explain anything to you because you know. And if you are a male watching this, you maybe are familiar with a woman, so you know exactly what I'm talking about as well. Either it's your sister, your mama, your auntie, your girlfriend, your wife, whoever it is, you know a woman. And you know we can be very emotional. And why are we emotional? Because we have cycles. We carry children. All of the emotions, all of the hormones that we have is there for a reason, because we have to literally carry children and give those children, those babies, the nutrients, the emotions, the minerals, every single thing for them to come into this world. God knew what He was doing with His making a woman. Okay? All this stuff is normal. The hormones, the emotions is all normal. But they must be controlled and they must be understood. Because if not, you're going to cause yourself to be in a lot of trouble and make mischief with your life. And you are literally going to be, you can literally create a hell for yourself because you do not understand your emotions and you do not have a grasp on the cycles that are inherent that you were just born with as a woman. Now, I need to be having some quotes with this, and I probably will drop them, at the bottom. Because I'm the type of person, like, I read a lot of stuff, and I do have a lot of quotes in my head, but I like to read them verbatim, and I don't have them on me because they're on my phone. I'm using my phone to record. They're likely on my iPad or something. But anyways, rising above emotion into the thinking of God is more than just a statement. It is literally striving to be more logical, right? Striving to be more scientific with the way that we think, just like God, because God has emotions. He is a human being. And if you don't know that, stick around here and find out. But He's a human being. Human beings have emotions. But the difference between us and God is that He does not allow His emotions to dictate His agenda. He doesn't allow it to sway him in a way in which will mess up something that's supposed to be happening like 1,000,000 or 2,000,000 years from now, or even like tomorrow. He's emotional, but he's not moved by emotions. We have to be the same way, sisters. So what does that look like? For me personally, that looks like me understanding my emotions, getting a grasp on them, and understanding that this is normal and this is natural. This is a part of what it means to be a woman. Growing up, unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to be in tune with my emotions. I started crying. I wasn't acting a certain type of way. I would get yelled at, or I would get beat for not being happy or presentable or welcoming. But I literally was experiencing an emotion that, because I wasn't allowed to emote as a child, I found that in my early 20s, once I started, doing things on my own and being away from my parents, I discovered that, I'm having all these emotions, but like, I'm not quite sure what this is. I haven't been able to identify why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling. Like, this is weird. What is this? So actually, the older I get, I could just say more so in my early 20s, I allowed myself to feel what it was that I was feeling, because I wasn't allowed to do that as a child. I wasn't allowed to feel and experience my emotions so that I could understand what it is that I was feeling. So understanding your emotions is so important, because you can put a name on it, you can identify it, so your brain knows, oh, that's what you're feeling, and this is why you're feeling it. And once you get a grasp on reality, because again, your emotions are real. Sometimes they are valid, and if they are valid to you, but sometimes they can be invalid to what it is that's going on, like in real life. But understanding what's happening in your head, what's happening in your body, why it's happening, that is like base level, so very important, at least for me in my journey, in my process. Me understanding the emotion. Why am I experiencing this? And what is this by name? Like, what is this emotion called? That has helped me understand, the emotion, so that I can again develop and evolve into rising above the emotion, which is kind of where I am now. I haven't risen above all emotions, because emotions be emotions. I be emoting. They change every month. They change literally every week. And honestly, it's starting to feel like every day. It's like, is this really what it's like to be a woman? It's kind of like crazy. But one, understanding the emotions, calling them by name, what they are. Two, once you understand them, you know what they are by name, categorizing them, allowing yourself to feel them, but not allowing yourself to be dictated by the emotion. For example, sister, woman, you may feel a little lonely. You don't have nobody to talk to. You may be a little bored. And then all of a sudden, some man directly messages you on Instagram, or he comes up to talk to you in public. Now, as a woman of God, you're striving to be a woman of God. You're striving to only be, he is your idol. He is the only man. He's the apple of your eye. You striving for that, right? You striving. But this man come, and emotionally, you are kind of unstable. Emotionally, you're kind of not there, because, you haven't really got a grasp on your emotions. You don't really understand them. You slipping a little bit. You're not strong in controlling them. So he comes, talks this stuff. And then all of a sudden, you find yourself talking to him every day. And even though you know better not to do that, but because you were lonely, but because you needed somebody to talk to, you're talking to him every day. And then what's happening in you? The emotions are rising. And because men are different than women, they're completely different. I don't even have to be a man to know that. We different. We have two different ways that we comprehend. We have two different ways in which we understand and communicate and just process information. We're different. So because a man is talking to you every day, they may just see it as, oh, this is just somebody that I get to talk to every day. But you may perceive it as, oh my God, we're in love. This is the one, because he's talking to me, because he gives me attention, when that could be the furthest thing from the truth. And then you get your feelings hurt. You get hurt because you in your head thought that it was something that it was not. Because this male entity was speaking to you every day because you allowed yourself to, you invited him to come speak to you every day. He spoke to you every day because you let him. And it was easy. Men do what they are permitted to do. If you don't allow them to do certain things, they're not going to do it. That's just point blank, period. And that's how a nation can rise no higher than this woman, because we set the standard. If we were to come to us and say some words and emotionally we were in the right place, mentally, spiritually we were in the right place, and we were standing on business, we had our stone wall up, you wouldn't even respond. But because emotionally you were emotionally you were just unchecked, you were just uncontrolled, you had a moment of vulnerability, which is normal. Please don't think that I'm sitting here judging y'all. I'm speaking from experience. I put myself in so many situations because emotions, because of a hormone not being in check, because I wasn't seeking refuge in Allah God, and I wasn't focusing on myself, or even going to go find somebody else to speak to, because of course you could talk to Allah God, but sometimes you really just need somebody to talk to. That's when your girlfriends come in hand, your sisters. But again, the emotions must be in check. Rise above emotions is to thinking God. Understanding the emotion for what they are, being able to name and identify the emotion, and then also, not once you are able to name and identify the emotions, you logically will be able to, let me tell you, what did I do? Honestly, speaking to other women who have been through similar situations, because again, we are not in this alone. A lot of times we think that we are the only women who are experiencing these things or doing these things. No, you are not. We all have a story about talking to some man, and because we were at a low place in our life, or emotionally or hormonally, we were just somewhere else, and we allowed ourselves to get caught up in something that we maybe wouldn't have done if we were in our right minds and if we knew better. We all are going through these things. We all are learning. But that's why we must rise above emotions instead of thinking of God. And again, rely on each other as women. Talk to each other. Shoot, ask your mama. Ask the sisters in your church or your mosque, because they done been through something too. Some of them have children as a result of what it is that they went through. Some of them got married and ended up in divorces as a result of an unchecked emotion, an unchecked feeling. And they will tell you these things. Because trust me, they tell me, the people that I talk to tell me these things. I have stories all the time, and that's how I know so much. Because I'm very observant and I listen to people. I love to listen. You tell me what you went through so I can know what not to do. Please. I am very grateful for anybody who is open about their pain and is open about their journeys, because they will openly tell you, don't do this. Don't make the mistakes that I did. So I'm just saying this, as a big sister, as someone who is with the fight. Again, I'm not better than anybody. I'm right here with you, babe. We are in this together, because it's hard. This is really hard. But Allah is God. And you know who is the source? Really, y'all, what I'm learning is that I do not have the answers to these problems, and I will never have the answers. I don't have the solutions. And for years, and particularly, throughout my 20s, I'm 25, but for years, my early 20s, I thought, I can handle it, I can do it on my own. I can go to these people, whatnot, whatever. But really, literally like this last month or so, I have finally realized and learned, and I hope I stay with this, because I know we forget sometimes, but I pray that I stay with this and I stick with this thought and this state of being. I can't solve my own problems. These problems that go on in here and in here, the emotions and the constant fluctuation of the feelings and the thoughts, is so much that I can't do it. I don't have any control over it. I mean, I do to an extent have a control, but I am not the one to get me out of this. I am not the one to seek refuge, to ask for guidance and direction out of this. God is. Because guess what? He made me. He made us. He know what it's like to be a woman to an extent, because he made a woman. We came from him. So why would we not go to him for direction? Why would we not go to him for refuge when it comes to these emotions and these hormones when they come and they are plaguing us? Give it to him. I promise you. And I'm speaking from experience. Again, I don't like to just say stuff because I feel like it needs to be said. I speak from experience. The God has brought me through so many things, in particular this year, that show me so much about myself, that when you just meet your own self enough, because that's what it took. It took me going through so many things enough times for me to realize that, okay, clearly I don't know what I'm doing. I need to go to someone greater than me to be able to get me out of this situation. And that person that's greater than me is the God and the people that he sends in my life to help me, to share certain information and say certain things to me so that they can penetrate and I hear what it is that he has for me. But I have to first, again, give it to him because I don't know what to do. And you probably don't know what to do. You're probably getting yourself messed up all the time because you're going to the wrong people. You're going to the wrong place. Go to God. Give it to him. He knows what to do for you. You his little girl. Why would he not know what to do? You get what I'm saying? So, rise above emotions to the thinking of God, and particularly as a woman. I don't know what age you are, but the older you get, the more these emotions and these hormones are going to hormone. I don't even know if that's a word, but it's going to get more intense, I should say. But seek refuge in Allah. He knows best. And also screen yourself if you need to. Like, avoid watching certain movies and listening to certain music because they're going to spark certain thoughts. They're going to spark certain emotions. Literally, you have to fight for your sanity. In particular, as a woman, you have to fight to rise above emotions. You have to want to do that. It's not something that's just going to happen. So you have to do your part. Not be on the internet consuming just about anything, because there's a lot of stuff on the internet that will influence you to do certain things, to think a certain way, because it's supposed to. We're living in hell. We got to remember that. Hell is sustained as a result of falsehood, as a result of feeding you into your lower desires and feeding off of your carnalistic thinking and thoughts and feelings and whatnot. But you have to rise above that. Pay attention to what you listen to. Pay attention to what you're watching. Pay attention to even what you're eating. It's hormones and all types of stuff. Again, warfare is everywhere. The battle is in the sky. And the sky is here. But again, Allah is God. And if you are a part of the Nation of Islam and you have the teachings of the Muslim Muhammad, and even if you're not a part of the Nation of Islam, I highly recommend you study, because it's good guidance, it's good information that we can use at a time like this where spiritual warfare is at an all-time high. Seek refuge in Allah, which is just God. Allah means God in Arabic. Through patience and prayer. And you will get your answer. Please listen to your semi-big sister. I don't know how old you are, what your age is, but you're going to be all right, babe. You're going to be all right. As long as you stop relying on you. Because clearly you don't know what you're doing. Clearly you don't have the answers. Clearly what you have done thus far is what you're looking at right now with your life. The turmoil, the accidents, the issues. But yeah, that's all. I don't want this to be too long. I wasn't expecting this to be 20 minutes. But yeah, I pray that this was able to touch and help somebody somewhere. I don't know what I'm talking about next. I try to have a list, but at the same time, I like to move by the Spirit, what Allah God puts in my heart to share, based off of what I'm going through in life. So again, I have to experience things for me to share them. I don't just like to come off the dome with certain things. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace. Also, I've been wearing this hoodie a lot. I know y'all probably noticed this in like 12 of my videos, but that's because I really like it. And I feel like it speaks volumes to my channel and what it is I want to represent. I need to start printing them more, and I need to make this like a valuable shirt. And even on the sleeves there are the second self of God in Arabic. Really dope. Might start selling them soon, but that's why y'all probably see me in this a lot. And it's like, it's snowing outside. It's giving winter vibes. I don't know if y'all can see it. Yeah. And I like being comfortable in my own house because I'm in my own house and I don't have to explain anything to anybody in my own house. But like, that's probably why y'all see this video a lot. Just wanted to share that real quick. Bye. Catch you guys in the next video.